Social science and philosophy has been present in humanity's long history of existence. As simple as the stated subjects might be, one may think, but how can such concepts continue to persevere through time for so long? Its presence has given people a deeper understanding of social structure, culture, life, and meaning. With these knowledge, humanity has been able to overcome many obstacles such as oppression and slavery. The critical thinking process of philosophy, combined with the defining characteristics of social science, has given us the information that we need in order to think for ourselves and give our lives meaning. An unexamined life is not worth living, as Socrates said. Both concepts are important in a sense that without them, we may as well find ourselves groveling on the floor on the search for something that will never be found, as without critical thinking, humanity's attempt to search for meaning will always be for naught. According to John F. Kavanaugh, the act of questioning, of wanting to know, is the initiation to philosophy. This implies that the questions are more important than the answers. I agree with this statement because questions seek to frame, expose, and encapsulate, while answers tend to be much more relative and temporary, as their accuracy tends to decay over time. Everything is relative, according to Albert Einstein, and it is true since people's answers can vary relative to their time, culture, religion, beliefs, and perspective. The book Philosophy and the Just Man discusses that philosophy requires justice, implying that philosophy is more than just thinking and forming thought into words, but also actions. I think that the statement is undeniably true, as philosophy requires justice or evidence, such as human actions or interactions, in order to formulate critical thoughts. It is, as the saying goes, that actions speak louder than words, meaning that one could make a lot more sense when observing one's actions rather than listening to their words. A person's philosophy needs to be justified by their actions, or else they would be considered as a liar or a hypocrite for going back on their philosophy. The phenomenological method of Edmund Husserl aims to define and describe the meaning of experiences of human lives. It involves 3 steps in order to complete the method: the epoch, the eidetic reduction, and the transcendental phenomenological reduction. During these 3-step process, the person analyzes their experience to its very core, while first considering the experience's objectivity, and lastly, the person's subjectivity towards it. With this method, people can more easily define their experiences to either be positive or negative. Furthermore, a person can learn a lot more from their past experiences as they try to analyze it and derive meaning from it. For example, you are torn if you wanted to break up with your special one because of a recent fight. You think about all of the past experiences with them, and using the phenomenological method, you try to objectively see them as a person. You analyze their characteristics, their personalities, and their habits in order to determine if this person is the one you want to spend the rest of your life with. After thinking for some time, you get to see their full essence, that they are a nice, loving, and hardworking person despite their flaws such as being stubborn or being prideful. Lastly, you think to yourself in your experiences with them, and you remember all of the happy memories you've had together. You try to define the meaning of your relationship with them and ask yourself if it is all worth it. In the end, the decision is yours to make. It is said that the transcendental phenomenological reduction affects the validity of Husserl's method. I think that the last step of the method is really important, as it is what makes it humanly, because in the end, it is our choice that after we analyze the subject objectively and reduce it to its essence, we would still have to decide for ourselves what we would do about this information. Going back on the previous example, if the person decides to break it off even after all of the positive occurrences, then there is nothing that the other people can do. I think that the 3rd step is for ourselves to make our voices heard. I don't think that it affects the validity and reliability of this concept, since every person interprets every experiences very differently. One might be more positive than the others, while one might think much more negatively. It's what makes us unique and different from each other.